Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am Disco Kitty, the Crappy Crafter. Now, before we get into today's video, I want to say a couple of words about my moniker. I have been calling myself the Crappy something or other for over 15 years, probably closer to 20. I don't remember when I started my webcomic. It was a long time ago, and I had a 9-year run span minus 2 months hiatus at one point. I don't remember. Everybody was taking hiatuses at the time. It was crazy. So I was the Crappy artist for that. And then eventually I started doing nail art, so I was the Crappy nail artist. And now I'm the Crappy crafter and Crappy artist, because I'm still a Crappy artist. I know some of you have said that I show talent, and I thank you for that. It's very encouraging. But I think I'm still going to call myself the Crappy something or other. It's a long time joke, and I'm okay with it. It doesn't mean anything, I just thought it was kind of funny. And at the beginning, I really was a Crappy artist. Here is my very first webcomic. It was pretty bad. One panel, hard to understand, bad drawing, but I've come a long way since then. So thank you to all my viewers who say I shouldn't call myself Crappy. I do appreciate it, but we're gonna stick with it, just because it's been such a long time thing. Now, getting into today's project. We are going to be working with Sophie and Toffee. So, the Elves Box got a redesign. It's got a little space dinosaur and some stars. No more sakura flowers, which is kind of sad because I liked those. But that's alright, I understand. You gotta switch things up every once in a while. You gotta switch up that brand. But this box, being the second box, it's still the most beautiful box I have ever seen in my life. And I love it. And I threw out the last one because I have so many boxes, I can't keep them all. Anyways, let's get into it. Opening up the box. On the inside of the cover, there is a thank you for being a subscriber. And then we'll see the booklet. And the booklet has all of the items that are inside the box. And keep in mind, there are no longer 2 tiers. There is just the one box now, as far as I know. Everybody gets the same thing, and that's good. Some little tiny molds, Halloween style things, glow-in-the-dark stickers, hotel style key tag charms, polymer clay glow-in-the-dark bats, pigment powders, oh, the oils, the 2-toned 2-weight shaker oils, the green one, I assume that this one was water. Can you see it? You can't really see it. Here, let me shed some light on the subject. Oh, look at the mold. Yep, that's mold. Anyway, charms, pumpkins and floating bats, a tea light with 2 little flames. It's super cute. If I can get it back together. Ah, pretty. Some glitter, fancy shaped glitters. The first mold is a hollow cauldron with a bubbly top. Yep, and the middle comes out so that it does make it hollow. I've never worked with a mold like this before, but I've seen a couple of them online, and I'm really excited to try it out. The next mold is also a hollow mold. This one is in a pumpkin, which is super cute. It even has a little face, which you can almost see here. One little face. I can't wait to try this. I've wanted one of these molds for a while. And lastly, we have the 2-part epoxy resin in 3:1 ratio. Getting into the Pixie box now. Pretty Pixie box. And have all of the stuff that's inside. Later, I'm going to claim I don't know where this purple ink came from. This is where it came from. It's right here. Starting off strong with some little charms. The ink, I'm not going to be able to figure out where it comes from later. A brush. Pretty brush, very soft. Tweezers. Some little copper gems. A light stand. Some glitter foil, actually. I've wanted one of these for a while. I'm super excited about the pen blank. some little spacemen in weird little suits, a sphere mold that isn't very spherical, and that's all right, some little charms, a little sun mold, pens for the pen blank, stars, a moon in all of its forms, stickers, hollow stickers, more hollow stickers, and some more charms, including a little space dude, astronaut, and some little stars. Lots of fun stuff in here. Let's start with something small and simple out of the Pixie box. This UV resin I got from a previous box some months ago. It's been open for a while, so I don't know how well it's going to work. Use 1 drop of the alcohol ink, after I snip it open, of course. This stuff is super pigmented. I really, really liked it. Although it may have caused me problems later. And I may have cooked it too much with the light because it's just not as pretty after it has cured. Now I am going to start it with a flashlight, and then I'm going to go find a cord for my biggest nail lamp because the flashlight is just not going to work. I'm also not going to get all the bubbles out of it. He's going to have a big old bubble right in the middle of his face, and you know what? That's okay. I make mistakes, so you don't have to. Oh, look at it though. It's turning orange under UV light. That is so cool. Unfortunately, it never really goes back to being a good purple after being cooked under this lamp. And I probably should have done 3 minutes on each side. I only did 1.5 minutes on each side. I did so many things wrong with this. Yes, super sticky. And that's okay. I will leave it in the window for 2 days while I wait for my 2-part epoxy to cure, and it'll be much better. This time, I'm just going to use some glitter in some plain, clear UV resin, hoping that because I had used the flashlight first and then the lamp, that was the reason why it cured sticky. But truth is, I probably just didn't leave it in underneath the lamp long enough. For some reason in my head, 90 seconds was 3 minutes, not 1.5 minutes. Some days I just can't math, and that's okay. This glitter was super pretty though. Purple, pinky, very nice, a little bit of blue. Just the color shift was so pretty. Okay, time for the truth. Is it my lamp? It is not. It's the resin. It is still super, super sticky. It wasn't the flashlight. Well, I mean, it could have been the flashlight, but in this case, it's definitely just the resin. But look at how cute it is. That purple pinkish glitter is so cute. Time for the next project. It's going to be a grape pumpkin Charlie Brown. This mold has 3 parts. It has the outer shell, an insert, and the cap. I have no idea how much it was going to take to fill this, so I am not going to make enough. And then I'll have to make a second batch to fill it up, and it still won't be right. There will be a lot of flaws, but in the end, it'll be cute anyways. First, we're gonna measure out 60 milliliters of the of 1 part, and then 20 milliliters of the hardener. That'll be a 3-to-1 ratio. And we'll mix it up for 5 minutes. Remember, the slower you mix, the less bubbles you'll introduce, and that's good. I have a tendency of whipping it, but I think I did okay this time. I will end up putting 3 scoops like that of the powder in because it just doesn't want to mix in. You'll be able to see at the end where it's still kind of clumpy in the resin. but it's such a pretty color. Try to get rid of some of the bubbles with a torch. Not that that's really going to be very useful in the end. With a fully enclosed mold like this, it's hard to keep the bubbles popping. They'll just gather at the top. Really needs to be put in like a pressure pot, which of course I didn't do, and I should have. But like I said, I did not mix enough, and I will not have enough to fill it. I'll make a second batch and it still won't be quite enough, but it'll be close. It'll be close enough. And that's okay. The end result is sitting in my window right now, and nobody will be able to see its flaws. Here I'm going to try to swish the resin around in the mold a little bit, try to get rid of any areas where it will catch bubbles. In the end, I don't think that'll really help at all, but who's to say? I didn't fill it enough. I didn't go in afterwards with a little toothpick to try to weed out the little bubbles. I should have done that with the cap, especially. You'll see why at the end. I'm still a little sour about not knowing how much I needed to make and having to make a second batch and still not quite making enough anyways, but that's neither here nor there. In the end, it'll be cute. Here I'm trying to find something heavy enough to hold it down. I ended up using a jar of paint from Stuart Semple. You'll see that in one of my later videos. But yeah, here we are. Everything's all poured and ready to go. And here we are, 3 days later, ready to look at everything. Time to demold. I was so excited. And then I started to see the edges and all those bubbles. I did not pour nearly enough into this. I did not try to tease out any of the bubbles. I did just everything wrong. This I thought was going to be really, really hard to get out because I've watched people online fight with these inner inserts that just popped right out. Yeah. And then we'll just basically turn this one inside out to take it out after we have loosened it up a little bit. Pulled the face away a little bit. Don't want to rip the face off while I'm trying to pull it out. That would not be good for future molds. It wasn't quite as tight against the inside as I was expecting, but that's okay. It is super cute. What I'm going to do is go in with a craft knife and cut out the eyes and the nose and stuff, and then it'll be just about perfect, except for all of the voids and the holes, of course. Don't ask me where I got this craft knife from. I don't know. I've had it for like 10 years and I love it. I just keep buying replacement blades where I work. And look at how cute he is. I mean, don't look at the voids. Don't look at the bubbles. Don't be mad at that. It'll be okay once it's all put together. Time to pop this back right side in after we, clean it up a little. Put it all together and then put it away, and then we'll go and we'll get the light and we'll put the light in and we'll turn the light off and we'll see how it looks. I think it's gonna look great. I think it looks cute just the way it is. And look at that, in the dark. It is so cute. Oh, the orange light inside the orange pumpkin is super cute. Love it. Well, I think these worked out pretty well. Here are my little space dudes. Space dudes. I think they worked pretty good. Here's the purple glitter. The purple glitter is nice. And here is the purple ink, which, you know what, I couldn't find in the booklet. I don't know if it was actually supposed to be part of the kit, but look at how cool that is. It turns a yellowy orange in UV light. That's just super cool. I mean, I noticed that, and I've probably said it while I was doing my voiceover, but just look at how cute that is. Anyways, here's the pumpkin. The pumpkin is super cute. The lid leaves a lot to be desired, but part of that is because my pigments, which also came from Sophie and Toffee some time ago, didn't mix in very well. I didn't mix enough, so it looks more like some kind of sunflower or weird flower something with all these voids. I don't know. But the pumpkin itself is pretty cute, even with its own voids. Some voids in the teeth, one in the nose, some on the upper edge. I suppose I could have put the resin into a vacuum chamber to suck out all the bubbles first, and then put the whole thing in a pressure pot, but still, I didn't know how much I needed to make. Guys, you know how big your molds are. You know what the volume is in your molds. I don't understand why you can't just put that one little bit of detail in your booklets. Just tell me how much resin I need to make so I'm not wasteful. I don't want to make too much, although I could put that in other projects. I don't want to make too little, or, you know, this happens. That's just my little beef, though. Just tell me how much I need to use. It shouldn't be that hard. Anyways, pumpkin. Let's see if I can turn the lights off and see what he looks like. Yeah, look at him. He's cute. Can't even tell where all the voids are because, you know, it's dark and he's all lit up, and I think it'll be a-okay. Just don't look at him in the light. Alright guys, this has been fun, but I think I'm done for this week. So, until next time, stay safe. Before we get into today, oh, it's gonna be a good one. I'm just rambling stupidly at this point. Dudes. Woo! Dudes. I didn't touch this one with the little bit. It started a long time. Guess who's visiting? Can you see it? Can you see the cat hair? Can you see the cat hair? Baby. Moo. Moo. What moo? Oh, are we getting today's snuggle right off the bat? Loki. Loki? Come here. Why? War. Whoa. Whoa. They're still working on the garage out back. He's freaked out. Oh, you freaked out. Are you freaked out? Yes. Bye, baby.